involves more to do with Meghan Markle drama in the midst of her viral video actually receiving endless backlash. It turns out that both creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone over at South Park Studios and Paramount have already created a storyline, get this, for their upcoming DEI special toward the end of the summer that is set to mock Meghan Markle and her pregnancy videos.
Well, I gotta go.
Good luck tonight.
Okay, cool, thanks.
And George?
Yeah?
It's okay to be nervous. I used to get nervous all the time before performing.
Okay, well, I'm not nervous, and I don't need any more advice from your days on Suits, so thanks anyway.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and their consistent attempts to be private by constantly seeking attention. It's hysterically funny.
I don't believe a word either of them say about anything. And what's really interesting to me is following that South Park mockery of them, which really highlighted all their hypocrisies. Their approval ratings now have fallen below Prince Andrew's in America.
All right, now, according to reports, Meghan Markle was, quote, upset and overwhelmed by her portrayal in a cartoon.
With the Meghan Markle backlash only growing in numbers the longer she decides to keep her pregnancy video on her social media.
What the fuck are you two doing here?
Hello, Grandmother. We've returned.
Well, we're kind of packed. You snooze, you lose.
It's so nice to have you back in London, Meghan. I've missed our little lunches.
We've never had lunch together, Kate.
Well, we must continue the tradition.
See, she wants to have lunch with you.
She doesn't want it. Let's just watch the fucking show.
Well, you know what's going on. Someone wanted a lot of attention, and now they got it.
You know, people who want privacy don't do that.
Duchess of Sussex was distinctly unhappy about Matt Stone and Trey Parker's depiction of the couple. The Spectator had claimed she was upset and overwhelmed by the show and annoyed by South Park, but refuses to watch it all, despite it being unclear who its source was.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Hoochie video.
Now, there is no doubt about it that Meghan Markle's viral video created a new negative wave of backlash against her that resulted in many other studios actually deciding to put any kind of affiliation with her either to a halt or firing her directly. That's exactly what happened with both Paramount and A24.
God damn it, now the prince is playing polo on the lawn. Can you two keep it down?
Hey, you ever heard of a thing called privacy?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Will you two just shut up and go away?
And then that whole provocative dancing, that skanky coochie hoochie dancing that she is doing is disgusting. Sit your butt down acting like that. The royal family should be ashamed of this woman. I'm pretty sure they are. Because a duchess, someone with a title, does not behave this way in public.
I'm sick of hearing about them. We just kind of don't care about some dumb prince and his stupid wife.
Surprisingly, Paramount recently agreed to create a parody version of the Meghan Markle viral video where one segment of the DEI special is going to serve as a spin-off of the Respect Our Privacy bit. Both Parker and Stone already have the parody written and are actually working on how it will be illustrated and animated, and it is already labeled as Respect Our Pregnancy.
Isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting? Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy.
Hey.
Did you know it's cold in there?
Yeah.
Must be an American thing.
It's not.
But wait. Watch this. Amazing, right? This might be the smallest palace I've ever been in.
An apartment, so.
Yes, an apartment palace, I know that.
We have to get jobs. I have to start auditioning again.
You were on the very famous show Suits. More popular in the States than even Friends, you told us.
Yeah.
South Park didn't just throw shade. They dropped a full-on comedy nuke. And guess who's smack in the middle of the blast zone? You already know. Meghan Cash Me Out Manners Optional Markle. After her so-called empowerment pregnancy video exploded online for all the wrong reasons, Trey Parker and Matt Stone came through swinging with a full-blown DEI special, specifically designed to roast the royal rebel like never before. So grab your popcorn, because what you're about to hear is straight up savage. Let's be real, that overproduced pregnancy spectacle, it wasn't empowerment, it was a walking parody. We're talking a phony hospital gown moment, a cartoonish bump that looked glued on, and enough slow-mo twerking to make even the Kardashians clutch their pearls.
Let's call it what it is. Meghan is not royal. She's reality TV with a Toys R Us tiara. Class? She's out here twerking for clicks, while the royal family is literally saluting a king with cancer. She's not carrying on Diana's legacy. She's auditioning for the Real Housewives of Montashut show.
She wanted to make moms around the world feel better, but instead, she caused an internet meltdown of epic proportions, like something you'd see in a Michael Bay disaster movie. What went so very wrong? Simple. It reeked of try-hard energy. That video was full of fake feelings instead of real ones. People didn't feel moved. They felt embarrassed for someone else. Was this art, or just a rather embarrassing way to get attention? The internet jumped on it within hours. Memes spread like wildflowers in the spring, and TikTok converted her terrible dance steps into full-on horror movie trailers. No kidding.
Twerking and gyrating like she's some wannabe TikTok influencer following a trend.
In today's oversaturated, hype-hungry society, one thing you can't fake is authenticity. Especially not when you're swinging around a plastic baby bump like it's a magic 8-ball seeking for answers. So please, don't insult our intelligence by calling this a tribute to parenting. If real feeling was the goal, she wouldn't have needed a Hollywood-sized crew, sweeping drone shots, and enough neon lighting to direct an alien spaceship to Earth. Let's be honest, she created a PR landmine and then triumphantly danced straight into the blast zone. And here's the wild part. That cringe fest? That was merely the warm-up act. Because when you deliver a PR disaster so dazzlingly horrible, it leaves the internet temporarily blind. Guess what happens? You call the lords of sarcasm themselves. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, ready to dissect every ounce of royal nonsense with surgical precision. South Park didn't hold back. They called the show Respect Our Pregnancy. And yes, it's a full-blown DEI special featuring none other than Meghan Markle herself.
Surprisingly, Paramount recently agreed to create a parody version of the Meghan Markle viral video where one segment of the DEI special is going to serve as a spin-off of the Respect Our Privacy bit. Both Parker and Stone already have the parody written and are actually working on how it will be illustrated and animated, and it is already labeled as Respect Our Pregnancy.
South Park isn't exactly known for subtlety, and they definitely weren't pleased with ridiculing Meghan and Harry just once. So what did they do? They came back swinging with yet another harsh takedown, a direct sequel to their iconic Respect Our Privacy incident. In that earlier episode, the cartoon versions of the Sussexes were already tumbling apart in a beautiful storm of sarcasm. Now, the turmoil continues, and it's even dirtier than before.
So you hate journalists? That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. Right. So you're a journalist. We just want to be normal people. All this attention is so hard.
Seriously, it's driving me crazy.
And guess what happened next? Meghan's legal eagles came in like a SWAT team, hitting Comedy Central with cease and desist missives more fierce than a lioness protecting her cubs. Quote, "Remove the parody or risk a lawsuit," they yelled, wielding defamation and unauthorized likeness like medieval flails.
Harry and Meghan wanted to sue the creators of South Park.
What'd they do?
They went at Harry. They went at Harry and Meghan.
She's suing
And
them.
they're trying to sue him. It's like, don't
What are you,
fucking
you're suing South Park?
kick that hornet's
Really?
nest.
But here's the kicker. Trey Parker just laughed, cited the amendment, and wielded fair use like a burning sword.
But anyway, the show's creators were seemingly unfazed by reports of a possible lawsuit.
Word on the street is that Paramount almost edited a couple lines until someone plainly remembered that controversy sells. And let's be serious, nothing pulls viewers in like a royal roast turned viral spectacle. This sequel, it doesn't just throw shade, it digs the knife in deeper. Imagine a frigid clinical hospital hallway, but instead of a serious medical scene, you've got Meghan Markle's lively double strolling in with a pillow bump, shaking it like she's on the current season of Royal Housewives, Buckingham Edition. All in classic South Park style, slow-mo twerking, overdone grins, and a cringing parade of faux empowerment theatrics. Let's just say, not quite the poised, graceful Duchess feeling one could expect for, right?
Now, both Parker and Stone already have storyboards mapped out that feature Meghan Markle twerking and dancing in the hospital while, of course, she's pregnant.
But here's where it really gets juicy. South Park didn't simply aim for easy laughs. They created these moments with sniper-level accuracy, using every beat to peel back the layers of Meghan's over-the-top motherhood celebration, and uncover the empty performance behind. Because if you honestly believe a little gown twirling and TikTok-level dance breaks are enough to stir hearts, then clearly, you've never crossed paths with Trey Parker and Matt Stone. And let's not forget, Prince Harry wasn't merely wallpaper in this extravaganza. Nope, he played the role of Markle's ever-obliging stage prop, smiling awkwardly while she busted out dances that would have had genuine backup dancers demanding for a refund. Yep, you heard that right. The unfortunate guy halted mid-nod, frozen in place, as the wobbly phony baby belly swung past him like some kind of royal prank. And recall, this is the same man who previously gave impassioned speeches about duty, honor, and safeguarding his family.
I need to do this for my family. This is not a surprise to anybody. It's really sad that it's got to this point, but I've got to do something for my own mental health, for my wife's, and for Archie's.
Now let's cut to the chase. Harry's been sidelined as the diligent stagehand in Meghan's self-director's cut. While she handpicked every viral frame, he played the character of the supportive wingman, forever forced to stand one step behind the spotlight. His statements about privacy and family protection timed to drop seconds after the sketch premiered, since if you're writing your image more than your family life, you deserve the parody you get. When your real-life PR train wreck becomes primetime fodder, why settle with scrolling past? Why not weaponize it for maximum hilarious carnage? South Park takes your worst moment and transforms it into their finest work.
Both Parker and Stone even have storyboards illustrated for the DEI special, where Meghan Markle is dancing and a stuffed pillow falls out from under her shirt, where the parody version of Meghan puts the pillow back in and the crew yells "Take 3." It turns out that both Parker and Stone have been listening and reading comments to the whole situation and incorporated that into the parody.
The artistry resides in sewing these stories into a macabre tapestry. Corporate DEI officers strut like peacocks clutching PowerPoint slides. Celebrities compliment each other for reasons they couldn't define over coffee. And the audience? We're left gawking at the sideshow, wondering when authenticity was bottled up and sold as stuff. All right, buckle up, because this is where South Park flips the switch from humorous satire to full-on executioner's sword. Yes, you heard that right. This ending isn't a soft landing. It's the final beautiful punch in the belly of performative royalty.
However, the parody version of this, to no surprise, is set to focus on a camera crew behind the scenes on the set of a hospital doing multiple takes of the dance moves that Meghan Markle does. The camera crew is said to be the South Park kids, Kyle, Kenny, Cartman, and Stan, where Cartman is the director. What's even more shocking here is that Meghan Markle knows about the development from the DEI special mocking her pregnancy video from her contacts over at Paramount, since she does hold a history with them within the past 6 months, and is already warning and demanding Paramount and South Park Studios to put the development of this parody bit to a halt.
Then they unleash the outtakes montage, a rapid-fire, no-mercy highlight reel of pure animated pandemonium. Imagine Meghan's cartoon twin trying to pull off a pirouette in that ludicrous pillow bump, only to faceplant hard right onto a stainless steel hospital bed. Cue the dramatic gasp from a phony studio audience, followed by a thunderous wrong buzzer, just as Cartman Kennedy strolls in, sipping tea like he's hosting the world's most wicked game show. Stan's lighting rig, total collapse, showers of sparks everywhere. And poor Kenny, completely tangled in cords, appearing less like a youngster and more like a twisted art piece from a haunting gallery. Let's call it what it is, an awful mess, and that's exactly the idea. South Park isn't just making jokes, they're tearing off the shiny shell of Meghan's media ploy to uncover the broken gears underneath. Every absurd collision, every comedic blunder is a bright, blinking sign shouting, "None of this was genuine." And just when you think they're done, bam, a smash cut to real-world headlines overwhelming the screen in a digital avalanche of news snippets and sensationalism. Markle's PR crisis deepens. Her cartoon self grabs her skull in horror. Royal legal storm hits Comedy Central, flashes in bright red as Cartman Kennedy smugly scribbles another false cease and desist letter. Royal realness trends worldwide blinks as Kyle chases his renegade boom mic like a guy on the brink. It's an information overload so acute you can feel your sanity short-circuiting in real time. But here's the dilemma for the rest of us, spectators in this carnival of image and illusion. What does it all truly mean? Truth is, Meghan Markle's overproduced empowerment ploy and South Park's vicious attack are merely two acts in the same viral drama. On one side, a star DJing her own narrative like she's spinning beats at Coachella. On the other, two sarcastic assassins converting that spin into sparkling gibberish. We live in a world dominated by optics, where every perfectly phrased tweet is a small performance. And honesty is as rare as a unicorn sighting in Times Square.
Yo!
South Park's episode? It's not simply entertainment. It's a full-blown public service announcement.
Been the chancellor in the world. Why?
Because if your activism demands drone footage, mood lighting, and planned bump twerking, it's not activism. It's theater.
Yes, we'll be feared. You pang you, bang you.
This isn't only about a duchess who danced and a prince who nodded. It's a blinking billboard that says, "Welcome to the illusion economy," where every public moment is a script in disguise.
What's that side? Pita Fiesta!
Meghan sparked the fuse with her shiny feminist clip. South Park blew it to smithereens with savage precision.
Yes, we'll be feared.
And now, as the dust settles, one fact remains. Only those courageous enough to mock the illusion will be left standing.
Nail!
And a theater? Yuck. So let this be a warning. If your big moment relies on filters, props, and hashtags, you're not keeping it authentic. You're selling a dream.
I mine, out mine!
You men, you mended. And when the clowns take down your stage, don't blame the laughing. Blame the fantasy you tried to offer.